West, 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 West. This the West, 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 the West Coast. This the West, 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 the West, West. This the West, 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 the West Coast.
The NBA Finals and Stanley Cup Finals may be over, but there's still a lot of stuff going on in sports, man. Uh, you think that after the Knicks won the championship, that we would take a break from basketball, but no, we're getting ready for the next season, and there's some stuff going on with the possible trade on the horizon. The NBA draft is almost upon us, and we'll see who goes first overall. And the World Cup is going on, and it's been a hell of a World Cup. And I told you guys that I needed to watch some games, and I've watched plenty of games now. I've been glued to the TV every single day, and I have more insight on what to expect going forward. And I'm excited to talk about it. And as always, this is the West Coast Mindset presented by the Recliner Media Network. And remember to always like, subscribe, rate, review. And let's get to it right now, beginning with the possible trade that should go down around before the NBA draft or during the NBA draft tomorrow. As expected, speculations have been happening for the last couple of weeks about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the favorites to get him is down to two teams: the Boston Celtics and Miami Heat. And yeah, it's been confirmed that the trade is going to happen. If not tomorrow, maybe in 2 days, but it's everyone's thinking that's going to happen tomorrow. And and yeah, finally, Giannis is not going to be in a Bucks uniform. He will be somewhere else. I have been banging this drum for a long time that he needs to get out of there, and our wish will finally come true. Will it be the Celtics? Will it be the Heat? Whoever it is, Giannis will get a fresh start. And Giannis did confirm it pretty much a couple of hours ago with the post on Instagram. It was basically a goodbye post to all the people of Milwaukee, and that he's ready for a new start and he's ready to move on. And yeah, he's ready to just rip the bandit off and just go off to the sunset and go start off somewhere else. And it looks like the Bucks are ready to do that as well, according to the reports that are out there by Shab Sharanya and a lot of other great reporters who have been following the story for a long time. And yeah, the time is finally going to come. We're finally going to see Giannis in another uniform. And as I said, yeah, it's the Celtics and the Heat, down to those two teams. And I want to break down the situations for both teams if they do indeed land Giannis. Starting with the weaker situation, which I think is the Miami Heat. Look, yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, obviously, if you're a Heat fan, you want to have Giannis, and you get a top five player and a future Hall of Famer, NBA champion, multiple time MVP, defensive player of the year. I mean, the dude is just an absolute monster. But of course, in all these trades, man, to get something big, you got to give up a lot in return. And if you do that, Heat fans, you're gonna have to give up a whole lot. You're gonna have to give up Tyler Hero. You're gonna have to give up Khalil Ware, a lot of draft capital, maybe more than that. It just depends on what Milwaukee wants. But yeah, you're gonna give up a whole lot because you don't really have a star player to give back in return, unless you give up Bam Adebayo. But I doubt they do that. So it's probably gonna be a package of Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero, and picks, and maybe another bench guy or so, maybe on the end of the bench or something, for more depth for Milwaukee's bench. But that's pretty much the whole pieces of the package that you have to give up to get Giannis. And if you do get Giannis, it would look nice. Yeah, you'll have a really good defensive front court, of course, with Bam Adebayo and Giannis. But it'll be kind of interesting because yeah, where are you going to get scoring? And your backcourt's going to be pretty weak. Of course, Terry Rozier is not there no more as the point guard. Um, Norman Powell had a really good year last year, All Star season for the Heat, but now he has to be the main scorer on the outside and get the ball to Giannis. And can you really trust in that? And can the Heat really become an elite team in the Eastern Conference? I don't know. I still think that they would be, maybe a six seed or a seven seed. I really don't think that it will change the the tower of power in the Eastern Conference. I don't think it'll automatically put them in the top three, up there with the Pistons, the champion Knicks, and the Celtics. I think they'll still be around the middle tier. And I just don't think that it would be the best move. Personally, of course, you want a superstar player, as I said, and Heat fans have been waiting a long time for another star player to come to South Beach ever since LeBron left, ever since Jimmy Butler forced his way out of there with his contract situation. And the Heat fans have been waiting for a while for another superstar to come there. So if Giannis comes there, yes, they will be better, they will be good, but I just don't think that it's going to automatically put them in the championship contention. And Giannis does want to be there. Yeah, he put down on his wish list. He wants to stay in the Eastern Conference, and he would like to live in South Beach. And he would be down to sign the extension, because this is the thing. It's like, like a lot of teams would love to be part of the sweepstakes as well, but the fear is that Giannis doesn't have a lot of years left in his contract, and they have to make sure that he's guaranteed is bought in, and that he wants to be there long term. And he already put it out there that really the only teams he would do it for is the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. He'll be committed, and he'll be all in. But the issues last couple of years with him, it's he's 31 years old. He's been having a lot of leg injuries lately, and for the Heat to give up all that talent to get him, and possibly he gets hurt, that's a whole lot for them, and it could possibly bite them in the butt later. So I honestly don't think it's the best situation for Giannis to go to. But of course, they Heat fans would love it, and it would make them a better team. But it'll make them better than what they are. So I would have not too much of a problem with it. I would be a little skeptical about it, but that's one of the options. And that would be what it would be like if Giannis was to go to South Beach. And they definitely get butts and seats, and it would get people excited. And the Kaseya Center would be a great place to go watch basketball game, if indeed Giannis is in the fold there. So we'll see what happens. And Heat fans, cross your fingers, guys. You guys have a chance, and we'll see what happens when the trade is indeed announced. And moving on to the other team, the Celtics. If Giannis goes there, this is the most possible one. I think this is the team he's going to. I think he is going to be a Boston Celtic, but it's not a for sure thing. It's still 50-50. But if I was to predict, in my opinion, I think he is going to be in the green in Boston. He's going to be alongside Jason Tatum. And in that package, you would have to probably include for sure Jaylen Brown, because Jaylen Brown wants to be his own guy. He has been making hints out there on his stream, his live streams, that he wants to be on his own team, be a number one option. And he said that it was the most fun for him this season without Jason Tatum. And it sounds like those two guys are just not on the same page when it comes to being a duo. And both guys want to be the guy. And Jaylen Brown pretty much said he's ready to be the alpha on the team, and he wants out of there. And with that being the case, he would have to be a part of the package. A couple of draft picks, of course, and maybe you throw in maybe an Amias Queta, or maybe you throw in a Peyton Pritchard or something like that, or whatever other player you want. But of course, the centerpiece for the Celtics in that trade would be Jaylen Brown, and it'd be a good move for the Bucks. You get an all-star player who had a really good year last year, who I thought should have been first team All NBA. Good defender, one of the best two-way players in the league, good scorer. And I think that the Bucks will still be maybe around playing contention with him, and you could possibly build around Jaylen Brown. And if he's committed, he wants to sign long term there and be the number one guy, then you can bring in some more talent, draft some more guys, and maybe build something for the future with Jaylen Brown. So Bucks fans, you won't all the way be in the dumps. You'll still have a chance, and you'll still have some star talent on the roster, and possibly maybe make a little bit of noise on the bottom of the Eastern Conference, and see if you can possibly get in the playoffs as a lower seed, and see if you guys can compete. But for the Celtics, of course, you get Giannis and you get Jason Tatum as a duo. That would be absolutely electric. Jason Tatum is going to be 2 years off his Achilles injury, and we already saw sparks of the possible full superstar Jason Tatum at times last year. Of course, yeah, he's a couple of months off of an Achilles injury, like an Achilles surgery. There was times where he was very inefficient with his shot. There was times where he didn't look very confident getting to the basket, and it's normal. It's hard for an athlete to mentally just flick the switch and be like, "Hey, man, I'm fully healthy. I fully trust this leg, and I can go full speed and not have to worry about re-injury." But yeah, of course, that was in the back of his mind all year, and of course, he didn't play in that Game 7 in the first round of the NBA playoffs last year, and yeah, now he's going to be 2 years removed, and now he knows for sure that he's the number one guy on this team on the perimeter, and now he has a really good pick and roll partner with Giannis, and that pick and roll is going to be absolutely insane. Jason Tatum's not the best playmaker, I understand that, but if you have two of the best players in the Eastern Conference side by side, they'll find a way to get it done. But here's the thing, and I get it. He won Coach of the Year last season, Joe Mazzulla, but he really cost his team, I think, system wise in that first round when it comes to shooting too many threes, and it cost him 2 years ago, of course, when Jason Tatum went down in the series against the eventual champion Knicks this year, and yeah, shot way too many threes, and they have to do something to make a switch. And yeah, because we're seeing that it was a one and done season for the Celtics, win that championship, shooting all those threes, and it was the perfect roster. But once they have to shed pieces and get rid of a lot of veterans, playing that same style is not really going to amount to great things. They did have a really surprising year this year. I did not think that they were going to be second in the Eastern Conference. I thought they were going to be maybe a mid-tier, lower-tier team. But that's a lot of credit to, of course, to Jaylen Brown, and a big credit to Joe Mazzulla on making them a top seed in the East. But yeah, their flaws were shown, and as I said, with the 3-point shooting, it was very, very weak, and they didn't have a second option in their offense to go to, and of course, Joel Embiid bullying them inside. Their lack of size really got exposed. And now you get Giannis, and Giannis is a big body, and he's a former defensive player of the year, and he's going to help you defensively, and he's going to really help out on the boards. So it's a win-win. You get a superstar player on offense, and you get a superstar player on the defensive end as well. So it's going to cover two things for the Celtics. And yeah, they'll be back in the mix. And also, as I said with Joe Mazzulla, it's going to force Joe Mazzulla to make an adjustment to his offense and stop shooting all the threes, stop chucking up all these threes. You need to get the ball down to Giannis. You need to get him involved, and yeah, it's going to force him to be different in his offensive approach. So that's good for the Celtics fans, and possibly for them making a further run in the playoffs and do better than they did last year and the year before. So yeah, I like this move. Although I'm a Lakers fan, as you see with this poster behind me, it's going to hurt me as a Lakers fan seeing the Celtics have more success. But yeah, I think it's going to lead them to more success, man. I think they'll be a top 2 seed in the East, and really will threaten the Knicks to dethrone them as the team out of the Eastern Conference. And yeah, I think this move really is going to help them. They still have some other things they have to fill up on their team as well. Of course, roster wise, they still have a couple of empty holes. Giannis will help out with the size, but they need to get a little more size to help him out in the front court as well. Because yeah, they're still kind of thin there, even with him. But yeah, this is going to be a big power move, and yeah, Jason Tatum is going to be back to what he was, and yeah, I think the Celtics are going to be a very good team next year. I picked them to make the finals last season, so now only going to Giannis is only going to make that even more possible. So yeah, I think this is going to be a great move. And yeah, I think that Giannis will end up with the Celtics, because the Celtics know that, hey, like the Lakers, they're all for championships. The Celtics fans do not want to sit around and wait for a rebuild and see it tear down all down, and just have Jason Tatum there with a bunch of rookies and young players. No, they want to have superstar talent, and they want to win right now. and this is the time, and now is the best chance. You got a future Hall of Famer on the market who wants to go to your team, who wants to who will be down to sign the extension and be with you long term. And yeah, now's the time. So Celtics fans, be excited. You got a great shot. I think you are gonna get Giannis, and yeah, once you get him, as I predict, then yeah, you guys will be back in the mix. So this is gonna be interesting. So we'll see what happens in the draft tomorrow, and it's gonna be a really loaded draft, which I'll get to right now. And with that, yeah, the draft is tomorrow, as I said, and it's gonna be one of the best drafts. I think what we've seen in years. A lot of talent. In the first 10 picks, a lot of great players. But of course, who's going to go first overall to the Washington Wizards? And this has been, it was looking like it was going to be AJ Bonza pretty much slam dunk for the first couple of months, people talking about it. But then Darren Peterson's name has entered the conversation the last week or so. And yeah, I get it. Darren Peterson, his tape when he does play, I'll get to that in a little bit. But when he does play, his tape is for real. The guy has a lot of skill, and he's very smooth. Reminds me of a SGA type, uh, a really good scorer, great shooter, fast off the dribble. A lot of people say they remind him of this guy right here, which I think you got to pump the brakes a little bit with that. But hey, that's what the scouts are saying. So hey, I'm not a scout, so if they're saying that, then hey, man, he. If you watch the tape, there is some similarities, but I'm not going to go that far. But yeah, he has a full offensive package, as I said. But the issue is this: does he have the heart? Does he have the mentality to be able to play a full NBA season? And if the team gets into the playoffs, can he take the wear and tear of a possible playoff run? Being the guy, because with the Kansas Jayhawks last season, yeah, he sat out a lot of games. He had a lot of cramping issues. He wasn't willing to play through pain. He would call on the sideline and be like, "Yo, coach, take me out right now. I can't take it no more. I need to sit out." And he'll sit out for the whole game. And his availability is not the best, and you can't really trust it. Yeah, if he's doing that in college, then you add that to the NBA, about 30 something, 40 something more games to the season. Can you really rely on him long term to be able to handle it? I'm just not sure about that. I don't think so, but the talent's there. Don't get me wrong. As I said, the tape is real. The dude has game, but with the first overall pick, you need security, and you need someone that you can rely on to be there and be your number one guy. You don't have to worry about any problems from him, injury wise or off the court with his commitment. And yeah, that's the problem with Darren Peterson, because if he didn't have that, and if he was healthy and his heart was in it 24/7, then yeah, there's no question talent wise, he's got the full package, and he would be the first overall pick, I would think. But there's just too many questions, and I just don't think with the first overall pick, you don't want to have those questions going in. So I do think if you're the Wizards, I think you got to take AJ Bonza first overall. The dude is an absolute specimen, 6'8", 6'9". A lot of people are saying that he's the next Tracy McGrady. He's got the size. He's got a lot of skill. He's a super athletic, great mid range game, fast off the dribble. He's really good defensively as well. He'll go out there and he'll compete. Got a pretty mid roster, and BYU to the NCAA tournament, and was a big part of it. Was the Big 12 Player of the Year out of that conference, and the Player of the Year overall in NCAA. And yeah, he just was very, very good. And yeah, he looks like he wants it. He plays hard. And yeah, you can rely on him every night. He didn't skip any games. He's there. He's available. And yeah, he looks like a guy that can be the face of a franchise and a possible superstar at the next level. And yeah, a lot of people were saying that maybe the Jazz might move up and possibly do all they can to get him, because he's already there at BYU, and of course the Jazz are in Utah, and they ain't that far. It's about 40 something miles away from from the Jazz Stadium. And if they can get him there, he's already there in the fold, and it looks like he would love to be there. So we'll see. Maybe the Jazz make a strike, and they get him, and maybe the Wizards and Jazz work something out, and maybe they take Darren Peterson first overall, and they say, hey, you can take the Banza, or maybe they trade and the Jazz give them more picks, and they move up to the first pick, whatever it is. We all know that the Jazz would love to have AJ DeBanza, but he worked out with both the Wizards and the Jazz, so the Wizards do have some interest, and they possibly might say, hey, we don't care, we want the Bonza, we think he's the guy, and I don't care what you think, Utah, we want him. So yeah, and it would be a bad decision because, as I said, the guy has the talent, the guy has everything that you would want in the first overall pick, and yeah, he looks like he is the guy, and I think he will be first overall in this draft. And an interesting story that came out recently was that Darren Peterson only worked out for the Wizards, and he really believes that he's going to be the first overall pick. And that's a little bit of the off court issue, as I said. He can be a little full of himself. He's very confident, and I get it. I love the confidence out of the kid. I get it, but you got to look yourself in the mirror at some point, man. Like, hey, with all the questions happening with you, you got to work out with as many teams as you can, and let them know that, hey, you're all the way committed to them. Depending on where they take you, and yeah, working out for only one team, that's a little risky. So he better hope that the Wizards are fully bought in, and we're super impressed in that workout, and they're saying, hey, we want you. But as I said, with the Bonza, his track record and his tape and his reputation is too good. So Darren Peterson may be in a little bit of trouble there when it comes to possibly being the first overall pick. But hey, it's 50-50. And yeah, both players are going to be very, very good. And we'll see what the Wizards want. The Wizards have an open spot for both guys. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see who they pick. And moving on to the picks after that, Cam Boozer probably will go third or fourth overall, and Caleb Wilson as well. And yeah, I like the back half of this draft. There's still a lot of really good players. Darius Acuff as well. And yeah, Cam Boozer, he could possibly be the first pick, but there's a lot of questions about his athleticism and his size. He's a bit of an old school player. He's not really a jumping bean out there. He's not super athletic, as I said, and he's not gonna really wow you with his speed. But the dude can play, and yeah, he's the son of a former player, of course, and Carlos Boozer. So you know that he has pedigree and that he knows how to play the game, and he's a very smart player. And a lot of people are saying that, yeah, he could be the first overall pick. I don't think that's the case. I think he should go no lower than 4. But yeah, I like him a lot. And depending on if the Bulls get him, or I forgot who's the third pick, but depending on who gets him with the third or fourth pick, they're getting a really good player. And yeah, I like Cam Boozer a lot. Caleb Wilson, if it wasn't for his injury, his upside is very, very high. That people are saying that he has the possible best upside because the dude is a really athletic player when he's healthy, and was really good at North Carolina and surprised a lot of people, and had North Carolina playing well before, of course, he went down with the injury. So Caleb Wilson will be good. I like Kingston Flemings as well. So the Clippers are in the 5 spot. Maybe they'll get Acuff. Maybe they'll get Kingston Flemings. And yeah, there's a lot of talent in this draft, and it's going to be a very, very interesting draft to watch. I really haven't been too invested in after the first couple picks, last couple drafts. Of course, the Wemby draft was crazy. And yeah, I watched that one, and the Cooper Flag draft as well. I watched that. But then after the last 5 picks, I was like, hey, they could possibly be stars, but I don't see superstar talent out of this the rest of this lottery picks. But as I said, and this draft, there is going to be a lot of star talent through possibly 10 picks. So I'm going to be invested in this, and I hope you guys will be too. And yeah, I think AJ DeBanza will go first overall. I think that Darren Peterson will go second. I think Cam Boozer will go third. I think Caleb Wilson will go 4, and then I think that Kingston Flemings will go 5th to the Clippers, and then we'll see about Darius Acuff and everybody else after that. But it should be a really good draft. A lot of players' dreams are going to come true, and we'll see if indeed we could get multiple stars out of this draft class. So it'll be fun to watch tomorrow. And yeah, if you're a fan of these teams in the lottery, then yeah, your team possibly will get a future star that will lead your team to success in the future. So enjoy the NBA draft, guys. And let's talk some soccer here, some World Cup soccer. As I said in the beginning of the show, I've really been invested in this World Cup tournament. I always am, but it's something different about it being over here in the States. You know, the vibes are crazy. The bars are always lit. The streets are always lit, and yeah, especially for USA and Mexico. And yeah, just the atmosphere of the World Cup being here in the States is completely bananas. It's crazy. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, a lot of teams are making their quest to get to the next round, including Team USA and Team Mexico. And yeah, Team USA played very well. Won their first game against Paraguay 3-1, then beat Australia 2-0, and were able to move on to the round of 32. And they'll await a third place team out of whatever group, because there's still a lot of games to be played. So we'll see. But they will be a lower seed, and they will be the favorite going into the next game of the round of 32. And yeah, man, they played very well. I'm very impressed with this USA team. I did not think that they would be this dynamic offensively. Their new coach has really brought some life and really brought some creativity to this offense. They're a lot more fluid. They're not this stagnant offense. They move the ball. They're fast. And yeah, I like them a lot. And they're doing it without Christian Pulisic, because Christian Pulisic went down in the first half of the game against Paraguay with the calf injury, and he had to sell this last game against Australia. But hey, but Florian Balogun, this guy has been a great story. 2 goals. Alex Freeman has played very, very well, and they picked up the slack, and credit to them. And yeah, man, this may be the best USA team that has been built in the last couple of years, man. And they could possibly go far and maybe get to the final 8 of this tournament. And for Team USA Soccer, that's a huge accomplishment, because it's been mostly a century of disappointment for Team USA Soccer, and for building the culture here in the States. But hey, if this team goes far, then yeah, that's great for not only the team itself, but for the development of people getting into soccer over here in the States, and kids being involved and wanting to play soccer. And yeah, this team can do something special, and they can possibly make some noise here in this World Cup. And they're playing very well. When Pulisic will come back in the offense, and when he's healthy, he is the best guy on this team, and he's a top 10 player in the world. And he can really cause havoc out there on the field. And you put him with Balogun, you put him with Alex Freeman, and yeah, they're a very, very dangerous team. And I really like what I'm seeing out of Team USA. And yeah, they're playing with a lot more confidence. They believe. That's the number one thing that I see from this team. They believe, because the last couple of years there's been too many expectations, and they came up short. And you can just tell on their body language that they weren't ready to play, and they didn't believe that they can do something. But this team believes that they can do something, because the coach has pedigree. He's coached Neymar. He's coached Mbappe. He's coached some of the best players that have ever played soccer. So he knows how to coach teams to success, and how to coach star talent and get the best out of them. And he's doing that for Team USA. So I really, really like what he's been doing, and what he's brought, the culture he's brought to Team USA. And yeah, man, this team could possibly do something. I'm really proud of Team USA, and we'll see. And I wish them the best of luck against whoever they play in the round of 32. And to the other team, Team Mexico, man, this is something that us Mexican fans have been waiting to see for a long time. Of course, I am Mexican, and also I'm American too. So, people say that, hey, pick one team, but hey, I'm Mexican American, so I got two teams. I was born in the U.S. Mexican American, so Mexico and USA. So I'm repping both squads. I don't care what you say. That's what I do. But yeah, anyway, back to Mexico. We've been waiting a long time for a team possibly to compete, and as we know in last World Cup, Mexico fans, the round of 16 curse is real, but we didn't even get out of the group last year, which is even worse. And yeah, as we know with the round of 16, it's been the bugaboo ever since the 80s for Mexico, and this could be the team that could possibly do it. I like the moxie of this team, although you can argue they didn't play that well against South Korea last game. They won it gritty with the 1-0 win. But hey, um, Chicharito said it. He's happy he got the win, but they have a lot of things to work on, and I do agree with that as well. But hey, you got a week and a half, and you're going to be the higher seed as well against whoever comes out as the third place team in the bracket to play them. And yeah, other than that, they play very well against South Africa. Their offense is a lot more dynamic. They're younger. They're moving on from the old guard of Chicharito, of Carlos Vela, of those Santos brothers, of Guillermo Ochoa, and they're going more with a new nucleus, and they're ready for the new generation to take over. And yeah, we're seeing the development of soccer in Mexico, and this could be a roster that can build and possibly be something special for ongoing World Cups going forward. And yeah, they got this Colombian guy who's bought in, who's a Mexican citizen, who's able to play for Team Mexico, and Julian Quinones. He's really brought some life to this team. He's not afraid to take shots, and he's very aggressive offensively, and I like that. I love Alvarez. He plays very well, and he's not afraid to get his head in there. And he had that huge header goal against South Korea, and yeah, he's not afraid to get dirty and play physical and get some timely shots in there and make timely shots. And yeah, their defense has been very good. They still have not a lot of goal in the first two games. They're really locking down on the defensive end. And yeah, Mexico fans, you got to be excited. And of course, being the host nation, playing in Mexico, in the Estadio Azteca, in Mexico City, in Guadalajara, at that stadium, the home field advantage is elite, and the visiting teams feel it because yeah, the Mexico fans have been dying for years for a competitive team. No matter how bad they are, they're always going to show up for their team and for their country, and they've done that to a whole nother level in this World Cup because yeah, of course, the games will be played in Mexico for the majority of it, and yeah, it's been very very fun to watch. And yeah, the team has really got a motivation from it, and they're playing hard, and they have a chance to possibly get out of the round of 16. And being a Mexico fan for a long time, I get it. We want to win the World Cup, and that's the ultimate goal. But if they can get out of the round of 16 and just get to the final eight or the semifinal, that'll be a championship within itself because we have been suffering as fans for so long for a team to get out of the round of 16, and it's pretty much been written for years. Yeah, the round of 16. This is gonna This is gonna be the end of our season. We're ready. Everybody just pack it up. We're not gonna go far, and I think that will change this year. I think they really have a chance, and them being a host nation and having the home crowd with them throughout, it's gonna help them out. And I really think that they can get out of it this year. And as I said, if they can just get to the top eight or get to the semifinals and they play hard and they show us that they're committed and they want to win it, hey, what more can you ask for? That's all you can ask for. It'll be great improvement into the development of this program. And yeah, they have a lot of young talent. They have a 17-year-old named Gilberto Mora, who is going to start the next game against Czechia, which is a bit of a throwaway game for Mexico. Czechia has to win that game to possibly move on, but Mexico is good to go, so they don't have to play their top guys in this game. And Guillermo Ochoa is 40 years old, and he announced that he will retire after this tournament, and he's going to start next game against Czechia as well. And yeah, it's time for the new guard to take over, And if they can go further than they've ever gone the last couple of years in this tournament, then yeah, Mexico fans, we have something building for the future, and you got to be excited. And I'm excited, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. So, Team USA, Team Mexico, uh, be excited. We can possibly do something, and we'll see if both of those teams can get at least to the top 8 or maybe the semifinal, and that'll be absolute theater if that's the case. So that'll be awesome. And just overall, a lot of the other teams the favorites are doing their thing. Argentina is dominating, and Lionel Messi is the ageless wonder. He's the all-time leader in the World Cup in goals, and he's doing his thing. Had a hat trick in their first game, scored another 2 goals in their game today, and they're moving on, and they look good. France, they have the best player in the world, in my opinion, and Kylian Mbappe. He's been scoring goals like crazy. Had another 2 goals today. Had 2 goals in their first game, and they're playing well. Spain, they won 4-0 in their last game. And after a tough start where they scored no goals against Cape Verde, but they look back to what they were. Japan looks good, and overall, man, yeah, the World Cup has been crazy, and a lot of there's been some upsets, and there's been a lot of great performances from the favorites. And Erling Haaland's very good. I like him a lot. He's a 25-year-old superstar, and he looks like he's going to be a top 3 player in the world for years to come. And he's doing things for Norway. And yeah, man, it's been a great group stage and a great World Cup so far. And it's gonna be a lot of fun for the next couple of weeks watching soccer. And soccer is really doing a great thing right now. And they have all the attention of people like me and everybody else and all sports fans around the world. And yeah, it's been a great tournament, and it's only going to get better. So be invested, guys. Soccer is here. The World Cup is here, and we'll see who will lift that trophy in the end when it is the final. And we'll see which country will be the greatest for the next 4 years and have bragging rights. And hopefully it's Mexico. Hopefully it's USA. But hey, if not them, then somebody else deserves it well. So we'll see about that. All right. And with that, this was the West Coast Mindset presented by the Recliner Media Network. I'm Alberto Lucero, and I will see you guys next week. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not the end of the podcast because we have some breaking news literally right after I ended the recording. Giannis has been traded, not to the Boston Celtics, to the Miami Heat in a blockbuster deal. I'm reading it right here on my phone as I speak. I can't even write notes right now because I literally just saw it and I had to say it as soon as possible. And yeah, I got it right here. So we have a trade here. Giannis is going to the Heat with Bobby Portis for Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kasparis Giannakis, 3 first-round picks, including number 13 in this draft coming up tomorrow, 1 pick swap, and 1 second rounder. Wow, absolute shocker, absolute cinema. And yeah, Heat fans, be excited. Giannis Antetokounmpo is in your building, and he will be repping your team going forward. And yeah, this is a big move. And as I said, I think the Heat are going to be a good team, and they will be in the middle tiers. But they still have a lot of work to do. But you got your main piece here, and you have your superstar going forward with Giannis, and he looks like he's going to be all invested, and he's going to sign that extension. And now you got a great front court now with him and Bam Adebayo, and you still have other holes you got to fill on that roster. But hey, there is hope again in Miami, and this is huge. A new chapter for Giannis, and he can go out there and feel good that he has a chance to win the championship somewhere else. He can finally get that stench of being stuck in Milwaukee off his back, and he doesn't have to feel bad about it because he did a lot for that franchise. He got them their first championship in years and decades since Kareem was there. And yeah, man, he should not feel bad about leaving that situation. He should feel good about it. He has a new chapter in a new place in South Beach, a great place to live compared to Milwaukee. No offense to the people of Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure Milwaukee's a nice city, but it ain't South Beach. I've been to Miami recently, and yeah, Miami is a real destination. Now Giannis gets to live there full time in the off season and now during the season. And yeah, he is ready to go, and he's gonna be ready for a new challenge in his career. And great for the Heat. And the Bucks get some pretty good players back. They get Hero, they get Ware, they get a couple of draft picks, and they can rebuild for the future. And they're doing a full on rebuild in Milwaukee. Bucks fan, I'm sorry, I get it. It's hard to lose a player that good who's going to go down as one of the best players who ever played. But when as I know as a Laker fan, Kobe Bryant, those last couple of years where of course he was older and was more injured, but it's hard to hold on to the glory years forever. You're not always going to compete for championships when you have an all-time great player. There's going to be roster dumps. There's going to be financial problems at times when you have a player like that. And yeah, you just got to realize that sometimes you just have to rip the band-aid off and just move on and start over from scratch. And that's what they're doing in Milwaukee. And they do have as I said, they have the 13th pick in this draft. So maybe they might find somebody to build for the future tomorrow night. And yeah, we'll see if that indeed is the case. But yeah, it is a sad day in Milwaukee to see a player like that leave. But hey, there's hope in the future. You got to have trust in your front office, and we'll see if they can make another contender and see if they can bring the glory days back to Milwaukee. But back to the Heat, yeah, great deal for them. The only crutch is that you got to hope that Giannis can stay healthy. Giannis has had his fair share of injuries in the last couple of years, and you gave up a lot of your depth as it is in return in this deal. So so the Heat culture has to come through, and Pat Riley needs to come through and make sure that Giannis is in the best shape that he can be in, that his conditioning is great, and he can stay on the court. And if he can stay on the court, the dude is a walking 30 points, double-digit boards, and about 6 assists. It's going to give you great defense, great effort on both ends. And yeah, the dude is just an absolute stud. He's a top 5 player when healthy. And yeah, there's a new star in South Beach, and his name is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And yeah, Heat fans, be excited. This is a great night for you, and what will be possibly a great future for you if you indeed build the right team around Giannis and Bam Adebayo as your centerpieces on this team. Now to the Celtics. This is a bit of a fumble here. I thought you were gonna get Giannis, as I said in the beginning of the show, and I thought it was gonna happen tomorrow, not tonight. I did not think that it was gonna happen this fast. But the Heat were like, "Hey, man, we've been threatening for almost 2 years now to get Giannis, and we want to get it done now. We don't want to give the Celtics any chance." And they did just that. They threw all their money on the table, and they said, "Take it or leave it." And the Bucks took it. And if you're a Celtics fan, I get it. You won a championship with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but I really think you should have gave up Jaylen Brown and brought Giannis in there, because, as I said in the beginning of the show, I think it's going to be tough for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to be a duo. Both want to be the number one guy, and they made it work a couple years ago, so it's going to be interesting. But Jaylen Brown, as I said, made those comments in that live stream that he wants to be the guy, and this was his funnest year of his career without Jason Tatum and him being the guy. So you're going to need a therapist in that locker room if you're the Celtics, because they got to find out who indeed is the guy on that team, and who will take a step back, and who will be able to fix the marriage and get those two guys on the same page again. Because if not, then it can be a tough ride going forward for the Celtics. And we already seen that the Knicks have solved them the last 2 years. So they got to fix that problem in Boston, because they lost their opportunity to possibly break it up and still compete going forward with another star, with Giannis, of course. And yeah, this is, I think, a big loss for them. So this is a tough one for Celtics fans. I get it. They're gonna come up in here and say, Albert, you're crazy. Uh, we won it before you don't know what you're talking about. But hey, I'm just saying what I've been seeing the last 2 years, and from what I've seen recently from Jaylen Brown. And I just think this was a major loss, and I think that it may come back to bite them. So we'll see. Honestly, I don't care. As I said, I'm a Lakers fan, so Celtics fans can hate me all I want. It don't matter because I don't care. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, a big loss in my opinion. So overall, yeah. Breaking news: Giannis Antetokounmpo traded to the Miami Heat in a blockbuster deal. And yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow in the NBA draft. And yeah, we thought the season was over and that it was going to be a bit of a break for us, but no, things are happening crazy in the NBA world, and we'll see what happens tomorrow in the draft. A lot of players are going to have their lives changed, and a lot of franchises will have their lives changed, and for sure the Heat will have their lives changed now that they have their guy and Giannis in South Beach. And with that, now this is the end of the West Coast Mindset presented by the Recliner Media Network, and I will see you guys next week.
This the West, 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 West. This the West, 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 the West Coast. This the West, 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 the West, West. This the West, 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 the West.